Hello, and welcome to round number 4 for the FEVC IndyCar series. I'm your host, Cardude, and today we're going to be kicking off qualifying for Sunset Peninsula. This is certainly an interesting track. I ran some test laps around here. I was frightened. It's a bit of a, you want to check your driver's suit after you're done running around here track, depending on what you're running for, downforce, and other things like that. But it's a challenging track with a pretty tight and technical infield and, of course, an oval section. The track itself feels a little bit like the Indianapolis road course that F1 used to run. And IndyCar actually runs now. But there's a lot more banking. And the infield obviously isn't exactly the same. But, you know, it's definitely interesting. I think we're going to ride on board with Unku here for qualifying. Doesn't really matter who I ride on board with, to be honest. Make sure my stuff isn't too loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. Alright, so, now last time we were at a road course, Unku did finish first, but that was a few weeks ago now, because we went to Indy and then had a break, so these drivers might be a little rusty when it comes to going left and right. What we shall see is, these cars are going to get ready for their first flying lap here. Coming back up out onto the oval. Breaking your spine as you transition from the flat to the banking. I'm interested to see what Unku does here. Unku hasn't been fast on the road courses, so I think this would be a good measure of how you're supposed to run this track. Cutting it real down inside. Braking pretty late for turn 2. Keeping it tucked on the inside, getting a little loose there. Cutting across the chicane. That wall's scary on the right. Not going to get near it this time, but I think you need to get near if you want to be fast. Tuck down to the inside for that slow one, a little loose out. Another chicane here. Onto the drag strip. Almost killing himself on the concrete wall again, because that's how you have to drive around here. Tuck down on the inside once more, a little loose out. Keeping it inside and then cut across here. That's a pretty soft suspension to cut across like that. The car I did it in made me, I thought I was going to see the spine of my driver go through the top of his helmet. Exiting back onto the oval. Do that. First lap's going to be a 15.5. Trying to remember how you can check the speeds of all the drivers. I think this is correct. It's just being weird about it. Because of course it is, it's Forza. But a really interesting note here is that Unku's top speed is a 197 right now. Fishy's is a 205. But Unku's time was still faster, and that's because I believe this car's tuned for the infield. I wouldn't be surprised if he and perhaps the rest of his team is doing what I did at Daytona a long time ago in F4, where my car had a little bit of downforce on it. So I was slower on the actual oval part of the track, but when it came down to the infield, I was lightning fast, and I could keep up with everybody. And that tune was actually really, really good there. I just got, I kind of got screwed over in pit strategy, but hey, whatever. But Unka says down a 15.1. That's a pretty fast time here. Fish is going to cross the line in a second here and put down a... That was a 16.9. Not sure what happened to him on that lap. Snowball put down a 15.4, but I don't think it was dirty. Senna put down a 16.2 so far. 16.4 for Apex. Jordy has a 16.7. Rosenquist with an 18 dead. Tremus with an 18.2. Scarlet with a 19.1. And Jegatron with a 20.4. And Jegatron is spinning on the drag strip. Oh, that was half spin. These cars are getting ready for their final lap here. Well, 2 to go. Close enough. Looks like Snowball will move up in the rankings here, 15.7. No one's been able to keep up with Unku time-wise, it feels like. Yeah, I mean, the closest car right now is Snowball, and even then they're 6/10 behind Unku, so... He is definitely going to be the car to beat around here in the race. Once again, Snowball's running that Renault-inspired Hamburger Racing Sport livery. Always love to see it. This is such a fun livery. Surging a little bit in that corner. Ooh, Unku went way wide there. Almost hit the wall. He actually might have hit the wall. Might have tapped it just a little bit. But able to keep going, no problem. But that's going to ruin his run into his final lap. I don't think he's going to do much better than a 15.1. What we saw. 15.4 for Snowball. Getting within 3/10 of Unku there. Getting loose out of 2 there. That's going to happen a lot around here. Whenever I was driving around here, that was the biggest takeaway I had. Other than the fact you have to be brave around here. You have to be super, super brave if you want to be successful. Scarlet has also moved up to 3rd position with a 15.74. Fishy is in 4th with a 15.76. Senna is in 5th with a 15.98. Apex in 6th with a 16.48. Rosenquist with a 16.66. Jordy with a 16.72. Tremus with a 17.41. And Jegatron with a 19.26. But these cars are coming onto their final lap here. I think final lap here will ride along with our Indy 300 winner, Rosenquist. A little on the inside, a little loose out. Ooh, that's going to be dirty. And Jegatron is off the racetrack. But I believe that will dirty their lap because I believe they cut it a little too much, but I could be wrong. There's a lot of drivers crossing the stripe now. Coming out of the final turn, coming down the front stretch. Alright, and there's your times. So Unku will get on pole with a 1:15.167. Snowball will be second with a 1:15.27. And then I'll have to check the results from there. And, well, actually, Senna moves up to 3rd. Wow, I did not catch that. So Senna's able to get past quite a few drivers to move up to 3rd place there. Which is cool to see. Yeah, here we go. So, it's going to be Unku on pole, then Snowball, Scarlet. Why did it so Senna? Forza? Question mark? Oh, yeah. I'm stupid. Nah, that's on me. That's on me. My bad. Alright, so it's Unku, Snowball, Scarlet, Senna, Fishy, Apex, Rosaquist, Jordy, Tremus, and Jegatron. Forgot how the race results work for a moment, because I am obviously not the brightest in the world. But we're going to get ready to go for the actual race here in a minute. And for now, I will send you to intermission. right, we are back and we're getting the race ready to go here. It's going to be 36 laps around Sunset Peninsula here. We're just getting the order set here for the grid. Everybody sorted, and then we're going to have a pace lap, and then we're going to get underway. All right. Just getting ready to load into the video game now. Should be a pretty fun race. Yeah, I get facts about Laguna Seca and Indy. I can't really do it here because Sunset's not a real racetrack. In the sense that it does not exist in real life. I know this existed in the first few motorsport games, but the first motorsport game I played was 3, and I think this might have been in it, but I played this so long ago I don't really have a memory of this track. And it's obviously changed to be a little more quote-unquote competitive. A bit like Trial Mountain in Gran Turismo, I believe. Because I know Sunset has had a history with one of its curbs. And what is happening back... Oh, nope, I think we're going to DC immediately. Yup. Another Forza moment. What's new? Okay, I think we're about to get rolling again here. Just gotta wait for everybody to ready up. Ugh. I love Forza. All right. Man, you can move those cars around the grid a lot faster than you could in 7. Hopefully no disconnects or problems, and we will be able to get underway. I've just been informed it was a collision bug. Didn't know that was a thing in this game. What a video game. All right. Do we have collision bugs? Oh, son of a... Come on. Did somebody DC already? No? Okay. I just want to get this... I just want to drive the race, man. Squad's taking out all the position the braking boards. Hope to God he weren't using those down into turn 1. Or turn 2, rather. Yeah, these drivers are doing this to make sure the first lap is dirty. So they can get accurate times for the fastest lap of the race. You don't actually have to do this, but, you know, a lot of drivers choose to. I remember doing it in F4. But this is going to be a good little tour of the racetrack before we actually get underway here. I'm going to go to replay cameras, just check, see what these look like. Down on the drag strip here. I mean, this looks like a drag strip to me. Maybe it's just a long road. But Sunset is a pretty flat racetrack other than the bankings, obviously. And so it reminds me a lot of the Homestead or Daytona infield, like in that, Senna, in that respect. Because both those tracks are obviously in southern Florida, which has no elevation. It's flat down there. Senna is about to kill Scarlet. Nope. But obviously it is flat down there. So the infields of those tracks are pretty flat. You know, they don't really have any elevation change to speak of. And this track is the same way as we're starting to round the final corner here to get underway. We're going to go on board with Scarlet here. They are inside row 2, so should be a fun view to start this race. The drivers get all formed up, come across the start line here. Green flag at sunset. Nope, we have a DC. What a well-timed DC. Crossing the start-finish line to start the race. Instant DNF from our pole sitter. I wonder how many times I'm going to be using this. Oh, now we're stuck in the black screen. Forza! I don't want to be here all day. I love watching the drivers race. I don't love the technical difficulties. I'm stuck in a black screen! Come on, man. Oh. Oh, brother. I might have to restart the game. I have to restart the game. Fuck. I'll be back. Okay, we're getting ready to roll once again here. If I can accept this invite to the video game. Perhaps we will be able to get underway for real this time. Okay. That was it. We're done with the technical difficulties. We're done with them. I'm calling it. We're gonna have no problems from here on out. You heard it here first. We're gonna have a good race with no controversy, no technical difficulties. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen here. And Scarlett's DC'd again. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was mistaken. So how's everybody doing in chat? There's nobody watching. I hope that's not coming through on my mic. I would apologize more for if you can hear my air conditioner, but it is also summer in Louisiana, and I am sweating sitting here. So, I am not going to apologize much, because it is hot. As I'm sure this race would be, because this race is supposed to be in Florida. Well, Sunset's supposed to be in Florida. And I know it's going to be hot in Florida. Yeah, for me, the heat index is 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not outside, because I would probably die of heat stroke. Yeah, that's genuinely dangerous levels of heat index. Like, you go outside and you, like, do any sort of strenuous activity, you'll be killed from heat stroke. But, hopefully these drivers got some cool suits in their cars, so they don't have that problem. But we're getting ready to roll here. For real this time. Third time's the charm, as they say. Oh, man. Alright. Getting me a nice drink of cold water before the start of this race. Remember to hydrate, folks. It's always important. You know, that's the takeaway from today. Always hydrate. You know, we have learning experiences here on FVEC. But drivers are going to start to spread out and get their lap times dirty to start this race. We'll get underway. Oop, almost crashed into the back of Snowball. Oh, no, there's a little bit of contact there. Oop, a little more contact with the wall. And these drivers are just getting all their stuff warmed up, the tires cleaned up. Hopefully this isn't the racing line we'll see from Scarlett during the race. That not alone Tan B car. Kicking up dust everywhere. Good thing this game doesn't allow, like, you know, it doesn't have physics where dust and mud and grass can get on track, because, man, this track would be dirty. Be gravel all over it. But the driver's going to get up onto the oval here and going to form up for the 2x2 start to this race. And here we go. 2x2x2x2. Crossing the pit entry here. Going right past the pit wall. And they're now fully on the front stretch. Those cool blue canopies on the left side. Protecting those fans from the harsh sun. Well, some of them. Those ones in the middle there don't get that privilege, I guess. Hope those are cheaper seats. But we're going to have a green flag here at Sunset Peninsula. Heading down into turn 1. A little wide for Scarlett there, putting out Senna. Unku and Snowball are side by side. Snowball will actually get the advantage. Car off track in the background, but they're able to keep it going straight. Snowball will take the lead from Unku off the start. Our pole sitter is falling in second. Senna gets super loose back there. Unku with a big dive up the inside of Snowball. Able to make it work a little bit, but Snowball's still going to have the advantage. Senna's holding on to fourth at the moment. Scarlett is looking for move up to second here. Unku got real loose. Big time loose. Still on the inside, but Scarlett has got the run on the outside. Unku slips up on the inside, falling back to third now. Kind of stacking up that inside there. Snowball's able to run away at the moment. Unku just not a great start to this race, falling from first to third. And it looks like cars have gotten spread out a little bit back there. As cars get back onto the oval. That's where drafting's really going to matter. Fire it down into turn 1. I wonder if we'll see any brave moves here when these cars are going full speed. Whew. Loose on exit for Senna there. You could hear the tires spinning up. Got a pack of 3 cars behind. That's Fishy, Rosenquist, and Apex. But I think we're going to keep our eyes on this battle for third and second for now. But Snowball hasn't really been able to get away from Unku and Scarlett. So they can still definitely challenge Snowball for that first position. And Unku is eager to move back up into that first place after a terrible start to this race. I mean, that car is fast, so they can definitely do it. It's just about putting it together, make sure they don't have any more mistakes. Exit down to the oval here. I wonder if we're supposed to see Scarlett try to break that draft. Nope. And Unku's going to... Oh, I believe we have a caution. Yes, we do. We have caution for... Looks like... Yep, Jegatron. That car is destroyed. And looks like Jordy has some damage. Yep, that looks like right front suspension damage to me. We can prove my theory. Yep, the whole front of that car is destroyed. So, after our first 3 racing laps here, Snowball will actually be leading, and Scarlett second, Unku third, Senna fourth, Fishy fifth, Rosenquist sixth, Apex seventh, Tremus eighth, and Jordy and Jegatron are 9th and 10th respectively, but those cars were in an accident. Jegatron that's going to be a long time to get back to pit road with how crippled that car is. And I obviously did not see what happened there with those cars. Too focused on the battle up front. But, yeah, that was some fun racing to start this race off with. Have some fun with the replay cameras here. We wait for Jegatron to get all the way back down to pit road so they can get their car repaired and get back out. So we're going to have a few laps of caution here. That was some good racing to start this race off with. It was actually pretty clean, which it's a bit of a surprise here because, I mean, turn 1 is... I mean, that's a dive bomber's dream. You can get up the inside of somebody and just send it if you're brave about it. I don't think... Oh, Rosenquist teased pit road, but not going to do it. And I didn't think we were going to see any takers. you know, we're only going on to the 4th lap of the race here. I don't think it's worth it to lose track position. You know, maybe if you're like Tremus, you might want to, you know, you might risk it, but even then, I'd say just stick it out for now and just, you know, let it play out. Yeah, but that was Jaggertron you saw on pit road, and they're going to have to run all the way back around to get their lap back. Yep, there they go. Actually, I think we will move up to Jaggertron just to have a look at them as they run back to the field. Just taking it easy right now. Trying to make sure they don't dump their car on the way back. That would be pretty embarrassing. Trying to figure out who we ride on board with off the start. Oops, Senna giving a little bump to his teammate. I think off the start we might ride with Unku, our pole sitter, just see if they can make up any time into turn 1 and 2. Maybe be a little brave. Yeah, but I believe we're going to be going another lap here, as it looks like Jaggertron will not get caught up in time. So, we're going to be restarting on our 5th racing lap. Actually, excuse me, 6th racing lap, because we're going on to the 5th racing lap now. Drivers are spreading out on the oval. Baiting people with pit road. Once again, I don't think anybody's actually going to do it. Nope. Again, if I was Tremus, you know, or even Jordy now, I would think about, you know, coming down pit road just, you know, to go just a little bit longer. But they're going to stick with it right now. And just keep rolling here. So Jaggertron will be getting caught up with the field. And, well, we don't have an ad break for this. But I will be back in a moment. Okay, I am back, and we're going to be getting ready to roll here. Crossing the beginning of the pit road there. And we'll be getting ready to restart here. Single file this time, because it is a restart. And I think we're going to hide the telemetry as we fire down into turn 1 on this restart. Green flag is back in the air. We've seen dive bombs here. Scarlet thought about it, but not able to get there. Rosenquist also thought about it, but not able quite to do it. Pretty nice and respectful there from all these cars. Oof, Unku got loose through there. Ooh, fishy with a big move up the inside of Senna. That was bold. A little bit of wheel banging back there. Senna's going to lose some positions. Going to fall back to a 6th there. Going to drop 2 positions. Can't imagine that he's going to take too kindly to that. Rosenquist, ooh! They had an issue through the chicane there. Senna got to the rear bumper, or rear gearbox, rather, and got into them, and they're going to fall another position. Just not a good restart from Senna here. They're going to have to try to claw their way back up. So move back up to Unko here, who is getting a draft off of Scarlet for 2nd. Probably going to try and move down into turn 1. Oh, good. Getting a run on the front stretch. Down to turn 2 here. Inside, that car's still out there, and clear. Unku's moved up to 2nd. Now they're going to go chase down 1st. Looks like Senna has gotten past both Rosenquist and Apex here. Missed that when we were on board with Unku. But Scarlet and Unku are now going to be trying to fight to get up to Snowball, who's in 1st up there. Senna's starting to get a little bit of a gap from the 2 cars behind him. It's like Jordy is away from the other cars back here. See if Unku can get a nice draft off of Snowball here. They were able to pass Scarlet heading down to turn 1 last time. So this car seems to be pretty fast in the draft. Long 6th gear in this car. Good turn 2 there. Able to make up a lot of time. We'll actually move to the interval so we can see how far behind the drivers are. Whew! Big surge in the braking zone there from Unku. Snowball seems to be on rails around here. That car seems to be pretty stable. At least from this point of view. When I say that, they get loose. Commentator's curse, I suppose. Or just bad observation. Looks like the cars back there are getting a little spread out. Oof, you can see that camera shake when these cars get up onto the oval. Oh, we have a spinner back there. That was Scarlet. Scarlet went around. Not sure exactly what happened. But I believe they were by themselves, so I think they might have just spun on their own. Looks like the car might have been damaged. We can check telemetry real fast. Yes, that car does have damage. So they had contact with the wall. I don't think anybody else hit them. There was no car really that close. So we have another car slow on track. That's Rosenquist. Looks like they might have gone off. I'm not sure what happened there. But still, Unku's trying to get back up to Snowball, who has clawed out a 6/10 lead over our pole sitter. But multiple drivers with problems early on here. As we back out onto the oval. Whew. Unko was able to put down a 114.84, which is faster than any time that was set down in qualifying. So, that means Unko really does have the pace. Ooh, but so does Snowball. Snowball put down a 114.98. It's not a whole lot slower, so... Fishy's fallen a little back from these two cars in front, but still within touch. Senna is... I mean, they can see Fishy, but not that close to them. Apex is kind of in the void at the moment. Rosequist is kind of in the same boat. So is Jordy. Jagatron is starting to catch up to Tremus, it looks like, and obviously Scarlet had that issue early on, so they had damage and they had to pitch, so they're all by themselves at the moment. Ooh, we're actually... Come on, Jagatron was catching up to Tremus there for a minute. Ooh, Tremus got super loose coming out of that turn. Interested to see if they can get by Tremus here. Both those cars are running super loose at the moment. Unko still seems to be falling back a little. Seems like Snowball is just overall a little faster at the moment, at least on this run. Not sure if that's tire strategy or what's going on there. Jagatron was looking, didn't do it. Tremus got super loose midway through that corner. Jagatron's going to try to go up the inside. Not going to be able to get a run. Ooh, bad chicane for Jagatron there. Going to hit the wall a little bit. I doubt there'll be any damage, but it's going to slow him down a little. Ooh, Jagatron got super loose again. Sealing that pressure from the car from behind. But able to have a masterful corner right there. Oof. A lot of off-track excursions for these cars. Oh, there goes Tremus! That car went over the curb and just snapped loose. Man! You saw how quickly that car went around. Rosequist has come down pit road. Don't know if they had a little bit of damage or they're just pitting early. Unku is still trying to chase down Snowball here. And the positions haven't really changed since we last looked at them. Obviously, Rosequist will be falling back to 9th after their pit stop. But I think there might just be the first of the cars coming down their scheduled pit cycle. Change tires and get some fuel. Unku was able to make up some time through there in the infield that time around. Nope. Good black screen. Yeah, so whenever I say, you know, oh, is somebody disconnected when I see a black screen, is because back in the Forza 7 days, if you got a black screen like that, it was, you know, pretty much sure indication that somebody had either left or disconnected from the lobby. And it's still like that in this game, but it also just seems to black screen occasionally, which is great. Unku has gained back on Snowball, though. They seem to be a little bit faster in the back half of the infield section. And they're able to keep up on the oval. Ugh. I say they're fast in the back half, but Snowball had a great line through there and able to get some more distance between them and Unku. Looks like Fishy's going to start looking to pass Unku for second here. A lot of cars are just spread out at the moment on their own little runs. Ooh, Snowball got loose and got into the grass there. It's going to hurt their time some and allow Unku to catch up to them. Fishy in the grass a little bit there as well. I mean, it's easy to slide off the track here. Especially with how loose these cars are around here. I mean, you got to be on your toes. Ooh, Snowball got super loose that time. Unku was able to get right up to Snowball's gearbox now. Maybe forcing a little bit of a stake out of that first place car. Now he's going to be within drafting distance. Very much so. Able to get the toe off that lead car. Snowball's going to come down pit road. That is a smart move from that car. They probably pitted a little earlier than they wanted to, I imagine. But that's also a great choice from them because they're able to get some good laps in leading it. And just when they were about to get past, came down pit road. So they're going to have minimal time loss. But now Unku's going to be leading the race. But Fishy's not going to want to let that stand. They're right up to Unku's gearbox. Unku got a little loose there. Ooh, big loose from Fishy. That car was loose all the way through the corner. It's like Apex also came down pit road on the same lap that our former leader Snowball did. Ooh, Fishy up the inside of Unku. A little bit of contact, I think, but car's able to keep going straight here. Fishy is really challenging for that first position right now. Gonna get a run on the inside here. Unku's gonna head down to block, but that's gonna give Fishy a draft. They don't come down pit road this time. Fishy's gonna get a run, gonna go to the outside, closer to the wall there, on the left. Not clear yet of Unku. Now they are. Fishy to the top spot. But Unku's car is still very fast, so see if Unku can get back up to first. Looks like Fishy has had the fastest lap of the race so far, a 15.51. Well, 14.51, my bad. Unku's going to fall back a little bit from where they were with Fishy a moment ago. Gotta imagine these cars are probably going to be pitting pretty soon, at least some of them. I don't know what the tire strategy is like around here. So, I imagine some cars are on softs, some are on mediums. So it seems to be the general strategy for Forza. I say that, Unku comes down pit road. You can tell because the camera was forced to the nose of the car. Senna will also come down pit road. I believe a few cars out here that have not pit yet. I believe Snowball is the first of the pitted cars. So Scarlett has caught up to Tremas here for 9th. Obviously Scarlett had that problem earlier on where she went around. Gonna make a move up the inside of Tremas here. Is gonna just let her have it. Not gonna battle too hard. Oh, big loose there from the 42 car. Big loose again. Move it up out to the wall, come back down in a diamond formation. But Unku is, yeah, they are pretty far behind Snowball now. After Fishy has come down pit road. And just see where they cycle out compared to Snowball and Unku. Like I said, I thought Snowball's pit strategy there was really smart, coming down pit road right when they were about to get past. So they were able to run some really good laps and hold up the cars behind them a little bit. And now, Unku is, second and a half back. Looks like Fishy's going to be coming off pit road in a minute here. They're leaving their pit stall. Leaving, rather. Exit out into the race circuit. They're going to fall in behind Unku here. I thought there was about to be a moment in that turn, but nope. They're going to let Unku go by. They're on cold tires, so challenging there would be a mistake. That's just going to end in tears. But they are still pretty close to Unku here. Looks like Jagatron is going to pass Rosequist on the front stretch. That car looks slow. Of our Indy 300 winner. Whoa! Interesting move there. I'm not sure what happened on the front stretch with Rosequist and Jagatron. Rosequist getting off the track a little bit there. But Unku is getting a little far out from Fishy there. But, these cars have been pretty spread out this race. We've seen some cars have some close battles, but as these runs go on longer, it seems like these cars are just getting spread out. But the only car to have not pit yet is Jordy, who's currently our race leader. But Snowball is catching them. Snowball's the first of the cars who have pit. Go on board with Snowball here. Look at how they can get past this car in front of them. Gonna go, ooh, thought about it. Just gonna back out, but that's gonna allow Unku to catch up to Snowball. The further Snowball is held up by Jordy, the closer Unku's gonna get, but they're gonna get to the outside here, Jordy. Looks like they let off throttle. We're just gonna let him have, oh, big block on Unku, but, ooh, Unku had to back out of that. That's gonna allow Fishy to catch up to Unku here. And now, ooh, there goes Fishy and Unku. Jordy's coming down pit road. Man, Unku got blocked hard there. Side by side. But Fishy's going to get the advantage down into 1 and 2. Now there is a battle on for second. We're 20 laps into this race now. And we have some battles developing, it feels like. Yeah, that's fair, Killchin. I mean, there was drivers definitely complaining about this track when we were, we were getting ready to start the qualifying session. And, I drove some laps around here, and yeah, I can understand why. This track is a little challenging. And, I think it could use some improvements, honestly, just from a design standpoint. But it's not a bad racetrack. It's just, you run enough around here, you're going to get tired of it. I know I've felt the same way about some of the endurance races I've done. Like, if I don't have to drive Le Mans again, it'll be too soon. Good racetrack, I just drove it too much. It looks like Fish is going to catch up to Snowball here for the lead. Snowball able to get right out to that wall and do it without hitting anybody. Well, hitting anything, rather. Fishy's nice and smooth through that section. The intervals are a little scuffed at the moment. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with intervals. But Fishy's going to be pretty close to Snowball here. Snowball trying to break the draft, and they're able to, but Fishy's still just fast on this oval right now. Getting a draft off of Snowball here, heading down into turn 1. They're going to try the outside. Bold move. Side by side for the lead now. Still side by side. Even there. Ooh, Snowball got a little loose. You don't want to have that happen. But they're going to back out and let Snowball take it. Well, let Fishy take it, rather. Probably a good move. You don't want to cause a wreck here. Yeah, that transition to the banking is it's definitely tricky. Especially in these cars. These cars are not known for their suspension travel. Now there's a three-way battle developing for first place here, as Fishy and Snowball battling was had allowed Unku to catch up to them. And now Unku is sitting in third, trying to move back up to first position where they started this race. Ooh! Big loose moment for Unku heading back up onto the banking there. Had to correct big time, and that's going to ruin their run down the front stretch here. Looks like Snowball is going to get a tow from Fishy in front. No dive bomb. Just going to sit behind for the moment. Going to try to pass him somewhere else. Yeah, Unku's fallen a little back after that loose one what they had getting up onto the banking. Snowball is right up on the gearbox Fishy now. Oof. Able to keep it clean, though. They're looking. Unku is so fast in some parts of this infield here. You can see that car has already caught back up to Snowball. Oof. Loose moment for Snowball there. Heading out into the banking. Car bobbles a little bit there. Unku is now within drafting distance of Snowball. Snowball is not within drafting distance of Fishy. It's kind of been a three-horse race for quite a while here now. Unku's going to go around the outside here. Snowball maybe seeing what Fishy did to pass Snowball earlier. Side by side. Snowball got a little loose, got into Unku, pushed him off track a little bit. Unku's going to have to give that up. A little bit of bump. Some rev banging from the 45 car here. Whew. Man, these cars are loose. Not as loose as they were around Laguna Seca, but that's also not a high bar to clear. Those cars were, they might as well have been on ice for how loose they were. At least under throttle. I say that Snowball got super loose there. Unku's going to be able to get a run here coming onto the banking. Going to clear them pretty early on, but Snowball is going to tuck in behind, try to draft off of Unku. Probably pass him into turn 1. If they can get a good run here. No, they're going to break the draft, try to... they do have a run. They are there on the outside of Unku here. Side by side, Unku's going to surge out in front, but Snowball's going to come back up the inside. Good crossover from Snowball. Unku got down on the grass, still in the grass there. That's going to slow them down big time. Snowball moves back up to second place. looks like we have a battle for 7th between Jordy and Scarlett. Jordy was leading this race earlier, and Scarlett had an accident earlier. So these cars are now fighting for 7th. Scarlett with a big run, Jordy with a late block, it felt like. Scarlett able to avoid running into that car and pass on the outside. And move up to what is now 6th after Rosenquist has pit. It looks like, yeah, Apex is close to a lapped car. It looked like Jegatron. Oh, more battling between Scarlett and Jordy! Scarlett got super loose. The cars are hooked together. Both off the track. No damage, though. And able to keep going, keep this battle alive. Scarlett's going to try to run the outside here. Loose once again. Hear that car bouncing off the rev limiter. Both cutting there. Whoa, Scarlett with a big snap? And going off? I think that's what happened. I believe Scarlett is running simulation steering, so I think that is what has occurred there. They're going to fall back now. But looks like Unku is starting to catch up to Snowball a little bit. A lot of drivers struggling around here. Looks like Snowball come down for what is presumably the final pit stop. This feels like it's going to be a 2-stop race. Give you a run through the field. First place right now is Fishy. Second is Unku. Third is Senna. Fourth is Snowball. Fifth is Apex. Sixth is Jordy. Seventh is Scarlett. Eighth is Rosenquist. Ninth is Jegatron. And 10th is Tremus. But these are going to get shuffled as we are currently in pit cycles. So these cars are going to change positions. I'm curious to see if Scarlett can get back up to Jordy here and get the pass done for real this time. The car does seem to be faster overall. Yeah, Scarlett has 0.2 better, faster lap. Also, apparently top speed of 391 miles an hour, which is impressive. But, you know, I don't think these cars are allowed to do that speed. Maybe we need to take the car in for a tech inspection after the race. I kid. This game is just, it's Forza. Jordy's going to get loose, get into the grass there. Let Scarlett get a run here into the chicane, head onto the drag strip. Whew, big surge. Unku is now on pit road. Gonna ride up to Jordy, put a little pressure on that car. Ooh, Jordy got super loose there. Corrected the car and is gonna ruin the run out. Scarlett drafting behind them. Thought about trying it down in there, not gonna do it. Jordy overshot there a little bit. That's gonna slow him down, moving up onto the banking. Scarlett drifting onto the banking itself and able to get a run on Jordy there with drafting them now. A little bit of a touch. Gonna try the outside here of Jordy. Ooh, contact! Scarlett's in the wall hard! I'm not exactly sure what happened there. I couldn't really see. I didn't have a great point of view. But, it was just contact between those two cars that caused Scarlett to get into the wall head on. Big hit for that car. Yeah, I mean, this car's hurt bad. Not surprised. Unku's starting to catch back up to Snowball here. These cars are pit right now, so. But now Unku's within 0.7 of Snowball for 4th, but is provisional 1st. But Scarlett's going to be trying to make their way back to pit road. She obviously had that incident earlier on where she had damage. This is the second time in this race she's had damage. Just bad luck today. Snowball and Unku are catching up to Apex, who is not pit yet. Ooh, Apex not going to fight too hard there. Oh, I say that. Oh, Snowball got on the wall a little bit. Apex going to think about the outside. No. Oh, a little bit of contact. Going to allow Unku, his teammate, to get by. Get up to Snowball here. Snowball's fighting real loose. Both Fishy and Senna have come down pit road. Scarlett is also back on pit road, repairing their car. Unku with a nice run onto the oval, going to get a good draft off Snowball, but they might have done it a little early. You don't want to get a run too early on here because it means that the car you pass can get a run off of you heading down into turn 1. But no, looks like they actually timed it right. Side by side here. Down into turn 1. Unku going to have the advantage and clear Snowball for a moment, but not quite. Ooh, Snowball got on the curb and got super loose. That's going to give Unku second place. But Fishy is way out in front now. We can take a look at Jegatron, sure. Jegatron is getting passed here by Senna. Just going to let them go by. Looks like we have still a battle for third here. Snowball is catching back up to Unku. Excuse me, second. Unku going to get a little loose there. Kick up a little dust in the face of Snowball. Looks like Apex is catching up to Jordy as well. Jordy got a little loose there. Going to block down to the inside. Apex is going to go up the inside. A little bit of contact, but going to not make it work quite because Jordy's going to cross him over. Apex being a little patient there. A little bit of bumping. Snowball's going to try to make a move down into turn 2 here. Oof. Got to be so careful in that braking zone. Hardest braking zone of the track. Snowball getting a little loose there. Both cars run off the track a tad. But Apex is now still behind Jordy. Going to be on the outside here. Oh, going to get back behind this car and draft off of them heading down into 1 and 2. It's tired down there. Able to do it. Jordy's trying to crossover, but no, they are able to do it. Apex got in the grass. But these cars are still real close together. Jordy got super loose through there. Slowed them down. Apex is going to try to dive bomb up the inside here. Jordy cutting across the grass a little bit, but they're not going to be able to get that run out. They're going to fall a little bit behind Apex here, but they're going to be trying to get back up into that 5th position. But Rosenquist is actually starting to come up from behind these two as Apex gets real loose. I mean, the more these two battle, the more that Rosenquist is able to catch up. Snowball was able to get up near Unku after the run down the front stretch. Oof, big loose for Snowball there. Yeah, Rosenquist is starting to catch up to Jordy, and will be trying to challenge for 5th. As our Indy 300 winner back there. Snowball's right behind Unku now for 2nd place. Ooh, a little bit of contact, got loose on entry. Able to keep it going straight. Sideways there. And I don't know if they're going to be able to draft off Unku that well here. They might have a little bit of air, but not a whole lot. Not nearly as much as they'd want. But Rosenquist is starting to nose her way into this battle now. They're going to have to get it done quick with Jordy if they want to catch up to Apex, though, because this race is running out of time. We can probably pass them down here on the front stretch. I would imagine if they can get a good run here. Just going to head down to the inside here, try to pass him on pure speed alone. Looks like it's going to be able to work. They're side by side now. Rosequist with a little bit of an advantage. Those cars are almost even now. Still there. Oh, Jordy's going a little wide out into the grass, and Rosequist will make the pass. Looks like Snowball's fallen back from Unku for second place. The car's a little spread out. It's 3 laps to go now. You know, these cars want to move up some positions. They're going to have to start making some big moves. And really start putting down some fast laps. Well, I'm going to say that. Snowball put down the fastest lap of the race so far, 14.66. They're back within 1 second of Unku. And, I mean, they're going to need a monster drive to get up to that second position, but they might be able to do it. Senna coming down pit road. I wonder if Senna had a little bit of damage. Yes, Senna has a lot of damage on the rear of that car. Oh, man, Senna had fourth locked up. I wonder what happened with that car. That's not what they needed for points, that Dark Star Performance team. But Snowball has caught up a little more to Unku here. So we're heading on to 2 laps to go. They are catching a car in front. Last lap was a 114.48. I believe it was dirty, but hey, as long as you're not getting penalized for cutting the course or extending it, doesn't really matter if the lap's dirty or not during the race. Man, Unku's just so fast in some parts of this infield whenever he can get it right. Ooh, a little bit of a bad bobble there for Unku. That's going to slow him down. Snowball to catch up. I wonder if he's feeling that pressure from behind from that Renault-inspired livery. Ooh, loose again. Snowball's not going to be able to pass there, though. They're just going to have to be a little patient. But there isn't a whole lot of time for patience left. I mean, next time by is the final lap. So, good corner there from Snowball. Going to try to set themselves up for a run. Unku with a snap loose, able to keep it going straight. Snowball's going to follow him up. Going to head back down, getting a run. Unku's going to block low. White flag here. Fishy has crossed the start-finish line. Snowball moving to the outside of Unku here. Not be able to do it. They're going to cross him over. Cross him over here. They got lap traffic in front of them, too. Tremus and Senna are up there. Side by side here through the chicane. Unku able to keep it side by side. That's impressive, but they're going to have the inside here on this next corner. This is turn number 7. Able to move out in front, but they are catching up to Tremus here, who will affect this battle. Fishy is way out in front of these cars, 5.5 seconds in front. Tremus is just going to let them go by. That is a smart move from Tremus. Good job there, not to affect this battle. Unku's still fighting loose. Snowball still trying to get there. Both cars running off the track there. This is going to be close at the line, I feel like. They are fighting tooth and nail for the second place. Unku's leading onto the oval, but Snowball's going to try to get that run. Our leader, Fishy's coming out of turn number 4, well, turn 15, rather, and they're going to cross the finish line in first place. Snowball's going to try to get a run. Unku's going to try to block, break the draft. Not going to do it. Unku's going to get second, Snowball third. That was a fantastic battle between these two cars in this race. But our winner is going to be Fishy, who, alright, Forza AI, who just, after the last pit stop, just ran away from all the other cars. I mean, you know, obviously I didn't talk about them a whole lot at the end, but that's because there was not really any cars near them. That's just how far out in front they were. So, good win there from Fishy. But both Unku and Snowball fought for that second place. Fishy fought for first as well. They were able to move up past Snowball and Unku to take that first position. Looks like Apex will cross the line in 4th, Rosenquist in 5th, Jordy in 6th. Senna is coming out of the final of the road course turns now in 7th place. And all the other cars are a lap down. So they still have some places to complete. Looks like Scarlett's catching up to Tremas, though, for 9th. Might be able to claw back just a little bit after a terrible day for this 42 car. They're going on to their final lap now. Ooh, big dive bomb from Scarlett there. Loose, able to slide up in front of Tremas. Tremas also sliding. But I think Scarlett's got the pass done unless she gets real loose in one of these turns. Ooh, Tremas the dive bomb, but not able to make it work. Trying to keep from running into the 42 car Scarlett. Still a little bit of racing here, even though the leaders have crossed the line quite a while ago now. But looks like Scarlett will get separated from Tremas there, as these cars are going to head into the oval section of the track for the final time. And that will do it for round 4 here, as we have our last 2 cars coming across the start-finish line in just a moment. Down the front stretch for the final time. That was a fun round. The cars are pretty spread out, but there was some really, really fun battles. This track seems to be conducive to quite good battling through the chicane areas. But there's your results. You can see Fishy 1st, Unku 2nd, Snowball 3rd, Apex 4th, Rosenquist 5th. But, I mean, here's your podium. Snowball and Unku with a huge battle for 2nd position, and 1st place by a wide margin was Fishy. That was pretty fun. So, I mean, that'll do it for us. I unfortunately don't have time for post-race interviews this week, so that's going to be it for the race. And that's going to be it for us for round 4, but join us next week for round number 5. This series is not done just yet. So, I hope everybody has a good day and a good night wherever you may be. And we'll see you next time on FEVC.